Good morning to you, Aviwe. We're seeing placards in the back, and this has been an issue bubbling under the surface for a while, but parents, it seems, have had enough.
Enough is the chant that's been said here by the parents. This issue, as you rightly put it, Gareth, has been boiling for quite some time now. Almost a year ago, students, past and present students, wrote to the school itself, detailing the incidences of alleged racism in the school, wanting a response. They're saying that there hasn't been a sufficient response to that, hence they're taking to the streets now, outside the school. In fact, I want to read some of the placards that we see here. They say racism is a form of corruption. Cornwall Hill College choose to do the right thing. And in fact, the reason for their march, they say, is that they're deeply concerned with the lack of transformation and diversity, as well as racism that the children experience and been exposed to at the school. But I just want to catch up with some of the parents here. You'd understand it's a prestigious school which has parents such as the governor of the South African Reserve Bank, which we'll talk to a bit later on. But I want to talk to some of the parents here. Thank you for joining us at eNCA, sir. Your placard says, traumatized by this one protest, imagine the lifelong trauma of racism. Talk to us about the issues on this placard and the issues that the children face.
Thank you very much. The interesting thing is that you see, when we're indicating to the principal that we are going to have the march, the principal says, as an educator, he's very worried about the students who are going to be traumatized. And we are saying, this is a march, just one day. So if you get traumatized by the march, you can imagine the lifelong trauma of racism, because our kids have experienced racism in the school. I'm a parent here with 3 boys. I've been associated with the school since 2014. 3 boys at the school. They may not have directly been, experienced racism, but we have a 54-page addendum written by the past and current learners of the school who experienced racism.
I want to move on to get different voices. So yours says equality is not a zero-sum game. We transform, we all win. What have you been hearing about the alleged racism in the school?
Well, you can look at the staff body, my brother. 6 black people, 66 white teachers. And if we all transform, then we have diversity. If we have diversity, we all win. So it's not a zero-sum game. It's time to change.
It's time to change, sir. Yours says genetically my hair can't be tamed. It is this bold. Thank you for joining us at eNCA. But what are the children that you take to the school saying about what's happening?
Now the kids are saying, they are being victimized by the teachers, by the state of their hair. And it seems like there are teachers in this school who's made it their business to police African hair. That cannot be allowed. We stand by our kids. And we are here today to say it stops today.
The parents outside Cornwall Hill College, where we understand even the MEC of Education in Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi, will be here at around 7 o'clock, as these protests are expected to happen just before the school starts at 7:30. We'll be getting you different voices, Gareth, in the course of the day. South African Reserve Bank Governor Lesufi will be one of those people that we'll be talking to in the course of the day.
Have we had any response from the school as yet this morning? I can't imagine the principal they're referring to and teachers have been able to ignore what's going on. They have to drive through those gates. Anyone come out to try and speak to you or to any of the protesters?
Not at this point, but what has been happening are the COVID-19 protocols, where you have to come in, get your temperature checked, and even get a sticker that details that those have been done. But last week also we saw these protests starting to spark as well, where we saw a Twitter post from the principal indicating that they are a non-racial school. But I quickly want to get different voices, Gareth. It seems like the governor is here. I want to get that voice from the governor. Governor Lesufi. Governor, thank you for joining us at eNCA. Sorry to just get you.
I'm not governor,
like this.
I am a parent.
Yes. So today you're a parent.
Yes.
What are the children saying the issues at Cornwall Hill?
Well, the kids had raised issues of racism in the school and the lack of transformation in the school. This was raised initially by previous learners and current learners in a memorandum last year, and actually today it's 365 days since that memorandum came out, and quite frankly, as parents we had been absent. Our children have been crying out for for help. And the things about discrimination, they go everything from the nature of your hair to the lack of African languages in the school. There is only one, Sepedi, which is being taught here. And interestingly is that the school has got like 66 teachers. Only 5 are black, and they are concentrated in the Sepedi department, which basically says that our children will only know black excellence as people who teach African languages. Apart from that, they just see the utility stuff at the school.
You've been given until 7:30 for this particular protest. What do you want as parents to happen and to see going forward, seeing that that petition that was signed a year ago hasn't amounted to anything?
I think that what we actually require is that we need the board to be completely transformed. There is only one African on that board. This is a board that had been there for 20 years. They only got their first African onto that board this year. And we need that board to take charge of the transformation journey of this school. And quite frankly, the board as currently constituted is not doing that. Secondly, we need to change in the composition of the staff. The school has got to consciously go out and look for black teachers to give our children pride, to actually look and know that there are black people who are actually excelling in the education sphere. Thirdly, the school seems to have over the years just had no more than 25% of the learners being black learners. We actually think that they need to relook at their admissions policy, because we think that based on this admissions process that they are having, it must certainly they are restricting the number of black learners in this school.
Thank you very much, the South African Reserve Bank Governor, Lesufi Kganyago. But today he's wearing a parent hat, seeing that he's one of the parents of the children that go to Cornwall Hill College. In fact, they've raised a number of issues that they want the school to tackle in the instances of the alleged racism that happened here.
All right, well, 7:30, the protest needs to end. Curious to see if someone from the school comes out. Aviwe Mtila, I'm sure you'll watch for that very closely. We're back to you later here on the South African Morning outside this very, very well-known school in Irene.